but that's...
She doesn't think I listen.
Well, there you go. I have proof. I have proof that you listen. So where are we in your shop right now?
So right now we're at the Main Street Wines and Supplies store, where we sell supplies to make your own wine and beer. We have beer and wine supplies.
And this industry as a whole, so this has exploded, the make your own,
yes.
Right?
So there's a lot of like the craft beers, all the craft brewers started making their own beers. It's probably all the same way with wine, beer kits, and then they turned around and started doing all grains, and then they got passionate enough to start their breweries.
And so now you have everything stem to stern here, right?
Yep.
So you want to walk around here?
We can also do custom labels for your wine. We have the labels here. We print on there whatever you want.
Nice.
So quite a few to choose from.
And so if I had an idea, you guys can also do the graphic design on it too, right?
Not so much. The labels are all pre-made. Just all I can do is put the words on it.
I got you.
Samples.
Oh, let me see.
Then we have more supplies here for making your own wine. All the additives you'd need, equipment.
And all sanitizing, because sanitization...
Sanitizing is your biggest thing. If you don't sanitize your equipment and everything that touches your wine, you can end up with a bacteria which would kill your wine.
You can. So, is it easy to...
It's very easy to do, but it's just one of the...
It's a precautionary, right?
Too easy, and people say, oh, I don't need to do it, and that's when they start having problems. It's better that you sanitize and not have a problem.
Oh, sure.
We have filters for people who filter their wine, siphons. We've got different gadgets there.
You do.
And then these are wine kits here. These all make 30 bottles of wine.
So now, if I don't know anything about this industry, do you have classes?
We do. We have if anybody's interested, we do a free wine class that explained all the equipment that goes.
The ins and outs and...
Yep, and explain how the kits work and go from there.
Now, the kits, are they full-fledged, like I don't need to buy anything else, or do I need?
First you need the equipment kit.
Okay.
That has your pail, your carboy, and everything you need for equipment.
Okay.
And then everything you need to make the wine is in these boxes.
I see.
Except for it's a concentrate, so the other thing you need to add to it is water.
That's it.
But all the ingredients are in there.
Now, do you tell people so are these, because I hate to use this word, but are they kind of foolproof, like idiot proof?
Almost.
Okay. So what's the almost quotient on them?
If you can read the directions, it works good.
Okay.
I had one couple that made the directions were blurred, and they didn't read it and didn't call and ask about it, and they're like, our wine doesn't taste like yours. Not even remotely. And I'm like, well, what did you do? And they're like, I don't know. So they came in, and come to find out the one part on the directions was blurred, and they put it in wrong, and they ended up being a dry wine instead of...
Oh, well, they still had they still had a wine.
So they still had wine. It was just way different than what they were expecting.
Right. Now, as far as the kits go, what is the differentiation between the types of kits that you carry?
These ones here on this side are going to be out more of the drier wines. So it's a Pinot Grigio, the Sauv Blanc. Moscatos are a little bit on the sweeter side, but they're just a little higher end on this side.
Right.
We got Rieslings, Trinity White. We got all kinds of wines over here.
And so basically when somebody comes in here and says, hey, I'm very interested in trying this, I don't know what I'm doing, your first question is going to be...
do you like dry wines
or
sweet wines?
And so you're directing them to the type.
If you like dries, we'd be looking at these and a couple on the other side. If you like sweets, that's a different box.
Same process for both?
Yep, same process.
And so it's dependent upon the grape. And then, so what differentiates dry from sweet? As far as the grape or?
The grape, but it's just the dryness. All wines go to dry when you're fermenting, but then you back sweeten it for the sweet wines.
You know, I've done all these winery shows, and I have no idea like what that. So they are all dry. So inherently, this process creates a dryness.
Yep.
And so what is it called?
You back sweeten it.
Sweeten.
Like on the sweet wines, there's a separate package in there, and that's what sweets it back up at the end.
I see. And that is final stage?
That's a flavor.
Yeah, final stage.
And you have the directions that will tell you how to do all that.
Okay. And so supplies, what are we looking at over here? These are flavorings, or?
There's also different flavorings for beer and wine. These here actually, you can make your own homemade pop.
Oh, you can?
So
wait, is the same, so how do you make?
It's a little different process. But
that's cool.
It's an orange pop, a ginger, root beer.
I've never seen a homemade pop kit, actually. So are those separate kits?
Yep.
Well, that's just the flavoring.
Oh, okay.
We did have a soda pop kit, but they didn't go.
They didn't go so well, so I kind of got rid of them. We have more supplies. People make their juice with at home. They have their own berries and stuff. So these are straining bags and stuff like that they would use. Corks, bubblers for top of the carboys.
That's a bung.
What is it called?
These are the bungs. We also have the bubblers here for your airlocks. And these would fit right inside the hole that's pre-drilled in the bung. And that fits right on top of the glass carboy.
Let's see. And that's it?
Yep.
And so what's the process in the carboy, the aeration?
Yep. Well, actually, you put your sanitizing solution in here, so what happens is it lets the gas out but no air in.
Ah. And that causes...
The air would oxidize your wine, which would cause it to go bad and turn into vinegar and stuff.
I see.
A little here and there is okay, like when you're checking it at the end, but you don't want excessive air in it.
Right. But isn't this where his skill set as a winemaker comes into play? Like, you have to know how to read the wine, right?
Yeah, that's where a hydrometer comes in handy. That tells you what's your wine doing. It's kind of your eyes to your wine. The hydrometer reads the sugar levels in it, so it tells you if it started out sweet or dry.
I see. And you have to have one of those, right?
Well, you don't have to, but it
helps, yeah, especially if you're just starting out.
Yeah, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, and so this whole process, like if I'm just starting out, you have tools that kind of idiot-proof it.
Yeah.
Right, and make sure, and then at some point, do you kind of, it's like ice skating here, you take off the ankle supports.
Most of the time.
Yeah, at some point, you're just like running free.
These two things here are made for kegs, or like pop kegs.
Oh, okay.
If you're kegging your beer or wine, you don't have to bottle it.
Right.
And that helps a little bit.
Awesome.
We also have a recipe book that has numerous recipes, 1 gallon recipes. You can actually make wine out of bananas. You can make it out of apple.
What?
You can...
Hold up. Can you really? Out of bananas? Is there
apple.
banana flavored wine?
Tomatoes.
Have you made it?
No, I have not made
So is it just the fact that it's anything that can be juiced can be
Pretty much.
made into wine?
Yeah.
You don't think like that though, as a
You just find the
consumer.
recipe.
It has
With the
coffee, and
soda
you can make it out of coffee apparently, and tea. There's a recipe for all that.
Oh, that's weird.
So it's just kind of this book is very interesting. It's been around for a long time.
It's kind of like the winemaker's Bible.
Pretty much. It's just kind of a unique thing. So a lot of people buy these when they're making their juice, their own stuff. This happens to be a champagne glass. We have also
They're cool looking.
wine glasses and stuff.
I haven't seen that style actually. What's underneath here? This is a wine conditioner
So
too.
here's
Oh, convenient. There it is.
another. So it's nice out at the pool. You don't have to worry about. It still has your finger hole, so it doesn't slip.
Right.
And it's nice for pools and stuff where you might camping where you might drop it. It's not going to break.
Okay. And then what's a conditioner, by the way?
The wine conditioner is like if you're making your own wine from your own grapes, and you want to sweeten it. This will sweeten your wine.
Oh, that's the sweeteners. Is it called conditioner?
It's a wine conditioner.
So, but it's really a sweetener.
Yep, it's for sweetening.
Is it just like a
Or if
sugar?
you're buying a
Simple
special
sugar.
bottle of wine that's too dry for you, put a drop or two of that in it.
Yeah, so when you start out with tails usually, so you can do whatever you got to do. Has more headroom in the beginning. Different covers. We have all kinds of corks.
Is that a labeler?
This is a floor
Bottler?
corker. So instead of you have a couple choices. Usually you have a hand corker that you do by hand. Every individual bottle by hand. But to upgrade from that, you can go to a floor corker. So this here you would take a bottle, you just push it in there, you put your cork in there, and it pushes the cork down into the
Oh, that's
bottle.
awesome.
Then you're done, and you go to the next bottle. So,
Well, that's pretty. Yeah, but that's a really
very,
nice.
very easy system.
That's a nice machine.
Once you
Actually.
put your bottle in there and you bring this down, that
Right.
locks your bottle, so the bottle doesn't move until you raise it up, and then it releases the spring. This is the corker. You would just take a cork, you slip it in there. You've got your bottle. You do it on a table where it's easier, and you just push it down. And there you go.
Wow.
You got a cork in your bottle.
Okay, that totally works.
So this would be a glass carboy here. That's a 6-gallon glass carboy. It does not come with the black strap, but it also makes it for easier picking up of a glass carboy. Because otherwise
that's
you've
gotta
just
be
got the neck
weird.
and the bottle. So this makes it so that you can pick up.
Yeah,
when
what
it's
does that
full.
weigh? Full? That's like that's an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, about 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah.
The
Of
handle
liquid
pick
and
is
glass. It's glass, right?
Yep, that one's glass. I do have a couple of glass.
And then now we've got more kits.
So now there's more kits. The nice thing about the kits is they're very easy. It doesn't take a ton of time. So unlike beer takes you anywhere quite a few hours, 6-8 hours to make a beer kit in the beginning. Starting a wine kit takes you maybe a half hour.
So equipment kits.
The equipment kits would be a kit that comes with all the stuff you need: the pail, the carboy, the corker, the sanitizer, the siphons, and all that stuff.
Okay.
Everything is in there,
Okay.
which is awesome.
So it's a bucket with everything in
Yep,
it, right?
Everything that's there.
Now what do we have here?
So just more knickknacks. You got some glasses, just gift ideas for holidays and stuff. So the glasses themselves say the Main Street Winery. They have the Main Street Winery logo on it.
I got it.
On the back side, we got Love the Wine You Want.
There you go.
And then over in the corner, we have our walk-ins. That was here when we bought the business, so we kept it going. So we have the vanillas and some of the walk-in supplies that they have.
Awesome. So this is where the magic happens.
Yep.
The tanks. What's the gallon size on these?
About 79 gallons.
And that's the beauty. So I'm going to stress this on the show too. Small batch is a big deal for a lot of people.
So then we also have the smaller tanks. So those are about 26 gallon
The
tanks.
26. So when do you guys do your bottling? After hours?
No.
No, you just do it during the
During the
business
day.
hours? Yeah.
Those are the bottle
These
fillers. This is the corker. This shrinks the foil on it. So you just put it on here. This goes up and heat shrinks it up. And then I just put my label on right here.
And that's it.
And
Hand labeled, hand bottled, right?
Yep.
But that's the thing. So this is it's equivalent to what the craft beer explosions experienced, but we're not seeing this in the wine industry. So we can expect to see you around the region, basically.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
your eyes open, and
Yep.
then Arcade's a beautiful location because it's not far from anywhere. It's a weird, like
It takes us an hour to go anyplace.
yeah.
we've done done some wine shows at the train. The Arcade
You
and
have,
the train.
right.
It's nice because it's real close. You know, can't get much closer than that.
Oh, that's it.
But they're awesome. You know, it's like so it works hand in hand.
And as Arcade grows, because it will, and it is, and it becomes a different town than it's been in the past. It has so much going for it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And all it needs is a tweak.
And did he tell you that Yummies makes our sorbet?
Yeah, she's awesome. She
Yeah,
was what? She was our first profile.
So it's their thing.
There it is.
But they take our wine and,
Oh my God.
and make the sorbet for us.
So now we'll roll back to the start of the business. So you were in construction
Yep.
for how long again?
So I did construction for about 30 years.
Okay.
And got hurt a few times, and then my wife decided that if I wanted to walk when I was 60, I had to do something different. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do besides construction? That's all I've ever, really done.
Right.
I was brought, I lived on a farm when I was born and worked there, and then I did construction. So now it's like, she said, well, the wine store downtown is available. I'm like, well, if I had to do anything, making wine would be fun. So I purchased the store and the winery, and I started doing
And you
all
took
that.
it from there. Now, you had been making wine at home.
Right. I started in '07 making wine at home and enjoyed doing that. So that was my first taste of it. And started doing little batches and wine kits and stuff, and thought, well, this is fun. And when this came available, I thought, well, gosh, that sounds like something that would be great to do. The winery itself it started in 2007.
Okay.
And then I purchased it in 2013, and we got our license in 2014 for the winery. And then we were able to get started on it and started making wine and stuff.
Now, so take me through the process a little bit. So your fermentation process, this is all where your taste palette comes into play, right? Because
Right.
wine is based on the vinter.
Right. So we start making it in the back with we do small batches
Right.
here, so it's easier to do, and it ferments, and you just get to a point that it's ready to go, and I turn around and bottle it, and we tend to do a lot of sweet wines. Our fruity wines is what we like the best.
We do.
Like our Blackberry Blast is our most popular wine. The Peach Perfection is great. We have a Strawberry Sensation, which is also one of our more popular wines.
Did you guys change the label at all?
Blend the strawberry and the peach together, and that makes it a different flavor, which everybody seems to like.
Now, when you purchased it, this label's the same?
No, this is our own label.
Great label. I understand.
We did a lot of research on labels,
label.
and we wanted it to look antique-ish type thing, not, it was just kind of
Sophisticated.
I love it. And is this the intention at some point? Because, I mean, the exterior, you could...
So technically, that's a picture of the building.
Eventually, when I'm rich and famous, I want awnings on the front of the building.
Yeah, because that's what Sandy's building, when I first found Arcade again, and I moved home, that building, there's got to be at least 2 to 3 pictures of that building. But we talked a lot about that. And that's, so, it's just, when you enter Arcade, then that's one of your first impressions. Now, does your daughter own the grill?
Yeah.
So the grill's the same way. Like, it's an awesome building. So, do you know what I mean? And so you start to think differently, and you're taking people that have lived
Pretty
here.
good for an old Stables, huh?
Is that what it was? No. Did you guys convert it from a stable? We'll talk about that later. But
That was been a restaurant for at least 75 years.
But it was a Stables?
It was in the 1900s.
Oh, that's crazy. Are there any surviving pictures?
Not right of the building, but looking down the street.
Right, and you can see where it is. So, but your label is beautiful, and it's perfect.
There was a lot of time spent on figuring out labels.
You know the best place to go to research labels?
Where?
Trader Joe's, down in Virginia.
Really?
They can sell wine in the grocery store, so we were looking at hundreds of labels, just trying to get an
So I would
idea.
go to Trader Joe's was my favorite, but we went to all the grocery stores down there
You did. Just checking it out, trying to get a feel.
to say, okay, now what sticks out? Because before we started this, the way I would buy a bottle of wine is if the label was cute or the
Yep.
bottle was cute.
We all do it. And it's probably the wrong thing to do, but you can't help yourself, right?
So now, when people come to the wine shows, they see that label and say, "Oh, I've tried that before," or something. And so it's
this
very,
is my favorite winery.
it's very cool that they recognize that label, or else they'll recognize our purple shirts or something. They'll say,
Right.
"I remember those shirts. Oh, I remember your labels." And they're like, "Oh, I don't remember what wine it was, but I remember the label."
Well, what I love about I've lived in New England for 5 years, and I lived in Northern California, which is wine
It's
country.
kind of a sophisticated
Yes. And so I've never seen, well, because it's kind of like a dichotomy, like it's a Main Street winery. And that's what I think can separate you guys going down the road, because we're like Main Street winery, because we're used to wineries out in the country. And so you guys are flipping that on its head. And I think that's a disruptive way to do this. But you're making it.
It's a little hard because people are like, "Well, where do you grow your grapes?"
Right.
Well, there's a parking lot out back.
On the roof. We've got a vineyard on the roof. But that's
That's why we say that juice. We get the juice
Yeah.
brought in.
yes,
And
and
because the soil in Wyoming County
isn't conducive to.
No, it's too heavy.
But I was telling Ken, so when I lived in Sonoma, if you guys go out there, there's a main, it's I don't think it's 12, but it's the main thruway that takes you into the valley. it looks a little surreal because it's all tanks. And those are the tanks that a lot of these wineries will purchase from. So there's a lot of wineries up through 12 that goes all the way up to Cloverdale, up to... So now the tasting room, what are your hours here for the tasting room?
Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturdays, 10 to 3.
Okay, awesome. And then one of you guys are always here, right? Pretty much?
Well, not on the weekends, but I'm here most 99% of the time.
So now the tasting room, this was here when you purchased it, but you've renovated this space, yes?
Yeah, we put the mural on the back wall there.
We rearranged things.
We
all the
rearranged
time.
the bar from where it was.
So I was telling Ken when I first walked in here, this is what I don't like the big tasting rooms. I just don't. I think they're like almost like a club, a bar. This is supposed to be, so if you ever do go to Napa and you drive up through 12, there's all these little, you're going to find so many places that are just like this. And this is the point. Like, I'm supposed to come here with my girlfriend and we sit at the table, we talk to you. It's this intimate experience. You tell us about the wine. It's a perfect size for this. It's not like this whole like grandiose. So how many wines do you produce?
About 20, 25.
And on an annual basis, they're released throughout every year? Or do you have like a vintage, like,
Yeah,
do
no,
like one year and then...
I don't have them all the time, so it depends on what I'm making at the time. I change it up now and then.
Do you distribute regionally?
We do it self-distribute, so we have like nine different liquor stores we go to and a couple restaurants. So we actually have another business called S&K Stitches, which is a custom embroidery business and heat press business.
Nice.
So these are some of our shirts we've made. We can put any town in there. I picked Arcade. You don't need Main Street Winery, but I put it on that
Sure.
We like this shirt here. This is Love the Wine You're With.
I like that one.
But we can put all kinds of sayings on them.
And then is there a minimum?
Tell you it's too early to drink beer, which beer can be changed for wine. Unfriend them. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life.
No, you
fun
don't.
little sayings that you can put on shirts.
So is there a minimum quantity to order?
Yep, need at least one.
So you can do one. That was my question. Yeah. Colors, sizes, anything's open.
I stock a lot of black shirts just because it's easy.
Yeah, it's probably the most popular too.
So that's the most popular. I can get anything in. It's just a matter of ordering them in.
Nice. And you do that here on site,
I do
too?
that here on site.
Turnaround time, if I wanted to get, like, let's say a dozen shirts for a baseball team?
A week.
That's awesome.
By the time to get the shirt in and make sure you're happy with the design.
Yeah, that's great, actually. Pricing we can find online, too?
We don't have anything online, so
come in, give you a call?
Yeah, the prices are ranging over between $12 and a shirt normally. We do have big numbers, more quantity.
You'll knock it down.
You can do a little
right. But $12 a shirt on average is a great price.
Which is whatever you want. If you want a special saying, your own saying put on there, we can do that.
Right. That's awesome. Now, did you was that first, that business?
We started this business, we did the embroidery first. The heat press didn't come in until we started doing it more full-time. And
heat press is the shirt that you have on, actually.
Yep.
So you have something on the back of that, too?
Yep,
or no?
So that's the front.
All right, and then let me get a good shot of that. Okay, now flip.
And then on the back side, I put this on a lot of our shirts.
Nice.
Sure, that's the winery.
Can you trademark that?